Men are exhausted of modern dating. That's why AI girlfriends are exploding in popularity. I looked for some data on how popular AI girlfriends are. So Google searches for AI girlfriends surged roughly 2.4,000% over 5 years. The typical user is around 27 years old, predominantly male. A US-based study found 19% of young adults aged 18 to 30 have chatted with an AI romantic partner, and nearly 10% have even masturbated while doing so. Right. So there's some data for you. And why do I believe personally that these AI girlfriends are going to blow up even more? Well, I think it's because online dating sucks so bad that if you can choose as a young male between chatting with an AI girlfriend versus chatting with a real woman on the internet on a dating app, I can tell you from my own experience, real women on dating apps are so utterly, unbelievably boring that it's hard to believe. I can see myself as a younger guy. If I was 21 years old, 23 years old, whatever, 27 years old, like in the study, the most, the average age was 27. I can see myself doing that. I can see myself chatting with an AI girlfriend because it's so frustrating to go onto dating apps and just be completely invisible. Because if there's nothing special about you, then you don't exist. And, on my channel, it's funny making these YouTube videos because you hear these comments. I got a comment where somebody said, yeah, well, it's easy for you to talk about dating when you look like a model. And it was fascinating to me because my whole life, I had no idea that someone would think that I look handsome. Because nobody tells you that as a man. Even if you are decent looking as a man, you might not know it. I think only my sister ever told me that I looked handsome before my current girlfriend who keeps telling me I'm handsome. But before that, I didn't really know if I am or if I'm not. So even if you're an average guy, because I would consider myself average, I work in the IT industry, so my salary is decent. It's not like top tier in Finland or anything like that, but I think it is above average actually. And even though I look decent, I make decent money, no one cared about me. And I was even on dating apps, on international dating apps. I talked with countless Japanese women because I was practicing my Japanese, because I was a massive anime nerd in the past. And I chatted with countless Korean girls because I was going to travel to Korea, which I did. So I wanted to, know somebody there, which I eventually did. And it was awesome to meet them there. And then on that same app where I was chatting with those Asian women, I happened to chat with people from all across the world. And I've been to, OkCupid, Tinder, the Asian one was Meef. And then I think I tried some other ones, but they really sucked. So I didn't spend too much time on any other apps. But I can tell you that I have talked online with hundreds of women. And only, let's just say that 5 fingers is enough to count the amount of women, the number of women who were actually somewhat interesting online and who were able to have some kind of a conversation with me. So yeah, AI girlfriends are going to be a thing because they actually hold a conversation. They actually are curious about you. I know it's all, fake, but then again, it's not like it's not sometimes fake on the dating apps as well, right? But it's not just that there's going to be this better version, this AI version of women online that's going to be more fun to talk with, to chat with. It's also the fact that we all know social media has ruined a lot of women. And I think that's why a lot of men now keep talking about this modern woman, this concept of a modern woman who is somebody who is kind of full of herself, wants to be treated like a queen without giving nothing back in return, has a massive body count, and comment below your definition of a modern woman, because I know I'm forgetting some of the traits that apply to the modern woman archetype. And you have so many examples online. You can go to YouTube and you can see examples of the modern women being just these clueless, narcissistic, crazy people, basically. So a lot of guys are watching red pill content and they get more, how should I say it? Not radicalized, because it's not like the guys who are fed up with women and who are done with dating, it's not like they are some radicalized, dangerous incels, even though that's something the media sometimes seems to want us to believe. And in these videos of mine, I often defend women, according to some of the comments I've had. But the reality is that I always speak to the guys, to the frustrated guys on the red pill side and the MGTOW, men go in their own way side also, because I have been there as well. And I mentioned this in like every goddamn video of mine that I was single for 9 years. And that's why I've been through feeling invisible. I've been through chatting with ridiculously boring and demanding girls online. I've been through feeling like nothing is enough. And recently I was watching this dating show. Once again, I watch a lot because I love to see how people behave. And this time it was the Love is Blind UK, the second season. And there was this one blonde woman who you could just see immediately that she's going to be one of those women. She's going to be one of those high value women who think that just because they have a career and because they are, you know, kind of pretty. She had a lot of makeup, in my opinion, so I don't know how pretty she would actually be. But she was kind of full of herself, and she was this ice queen kind of a person. And there's a lot of those women who they don't tell you anything. They don't share anything with you. They are super boring and they are super closed off. And then they think that the guy should be chasing them and the guy should be so utterly invested and interested in them. So in this dating show, this girl was chatting with this guy who, funny enough, even though the show is called Love is Blind, they're not seeing each other in the beginning. The guy is actually very goddamn handsome. And he's chatting with this girl, and the girl isn't opening up. And the guy is kind of trying to challenge her a few times, actually. He's trying to get her to open up, but she won't open up. And there's another girl who does open up, who's a lot more vulnerable. And therefore, the guy ends up rejecting the Ice Queen. And the reaction of the Ice Queen is that she basically, you know, says like, she doesn't want to cry because of this stupid guy. And she goes on about how goddamn amazing she is and how she's this high value person. And the funny thing is, even though I hope she learns something from the show, from the experience, it's kind of funny how people just double down, right? So we have all these women out there on the dating apps and even outside of the dating apps thinking that they are some kind of a queen and men have to chase them. Men have to go through this challenge of getting them and earning the prize that is the woman. And then when the women get rejected or the guy is just not interested in the first place because the guy is actually a decent person who wants a genuine relationship instead of just wanting to manipulate the woman into bed with him to have casual sex, instead of learning that, hey, maybe the fault is in me, maybe I should open up more, maybe I should be more vulnerable to the guys. Instead of that, they just say like, yeah, well, I didn't need that stupid guy anyway because I'm this amazing queen and I need to find the guy who's ready to fight for me. So anyway, those overconfident women, those cocky women, it's so unattractive. It's so utterly unattractive when you see a girl with tons of makeup on and then they behave like they are some kind of royalty and like other people are somehow below them. That is the thing that I think drives so many guys crazy at this point. And on the final note for this video, I suppose, it is a fact at this point that men have less testosterone than in the past. So then you add that to the mix with the technology. And then you add into the mix the culture, the gynocentric society, where in schools, most teachers are actually female. And we are taught these sort of modern feminist type of ideas when we are just little boys. And so we learn to put women on a pedestal. And then we are told that masculinity is bad, and being aggressive, being assertive, being disagreeable, all these classic masculine traits are bad. And we are turned into these little good boys who don't say anything and who don't take leadership anymore. So I think that affects the dynamics a lot, because I actually believe that if a man takes charge, everybody knows that women in general are more submissive than guys are. There's so many women out there who have those even sexual fantasies of submission. So I just feel if men treated women worse, and by worse I mean, were more cocky, were more disagreeable, had more arguments, told the women off more, basically, were not afraid of hurting a woman's feelings, I feel like guys would have more success with women. And because that's what women oftentimes kind of want even. They don't want to have some kind of a coward of a boy as a boyfriend or as a husband who doesn't tell them what they truly think and who doesn't tell them what they should be doing together as a unit, as a family unit. So there's a lot of dynamics. There's the cultural difference, the feminism, there's the technology, and then there's the lack of testosterone. And so I think we are permanently, as we go into the future, we're going to have less relationships, we're going to have less families, all those things. And I don't think there's anything that can be done about it, because it's not like we can disable the internet and disable the AI at this point. So that's what I believe. Let everyone know in the comments what you think about all this. And I always say the same thing to guys, to young guys. Rejection sucks. But as somebody pointed out, somebody said, it's not that he's afraid of rejection, but he's afraid of divorce. Like, what's going to happen if you don't get rejected and you actually end up together with a woman, and then the woman turns out to be crazy later on in life? It is a risk. It is a risk to get into a relationship with a woman. But I always want to make the same point all the time. I'm never going to stop saying this. I do know, I don't just believe, I know that there are decent women out there somewhere, but they're probably not on the dating apps. Just like my girlfriend was not on dating apps. And none of my friends have met their wives or girlfriends on dating apps. It's all been in the real life. So there are some decent women out there in the real life, outside of the internet, outside of the dating apps, but they are rare, and it's difficult to find them, it's difficult to meet them. And despite women being decent women, they are still gonna have these feminine traits to them where they get upset over things that men would not get upset over. And that's why some people believe that relationships are games. Although I wholeheartedly disagree with that sentiment. Because, for example, my relationship the dynamic is that if my girlfriend gets upset about something, somebody would say, yeah, well, look, she's doing the shit test. She's testing you. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you read too deep into it and you think too much about it, but I just go about with my life. I just shrug my shoulders and I move on with my day. And I've never had an issue. Like, even if my girlfriend gets upset about some little thing, she always comes around quite quickly. And it's not because I do something, it's not because I say something right or play the game, play by some kind of a rule book. It's just because I literally just continue being myself and I stay calm and collected because I'm kind of stoic that way. And that's all it takes. So for me, it's not any kind of a game because I just live my life. I didn't do anything special. I didn't try to do anything special. And that is the difference compared to my first relationship back in the day, where I actually did try to play a game in a sense, because I was always afraid of her being angry at me, because I was this super agreeable, leftist, soft boy who, thought that you should treat women a certain way and you shouldn't make them angry. And if you do, then I don't know, man. I was afraid of conflict all the time. And she could probably sense that. So that's the funny thing. I stopped playing games and I got a woman who's awesome. So that's the final note, I suppose. If you want to hear more videos like this, then remember to subscribe. I talk about other things also. I would love to talk more about other things, but these kind of videos seem to get the most views and subscribers also. And it is an interesting topic. I love to talk about people and relationships because that's the type of a person I am. My feminine trait is that I am very much interested in people, not just things. And leave the video a like, it helps the algorithm. In any case, thank you for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.